Welcome in to a new episode of Morning Edition, our first one for 2026. Got myself, Julian Sidori, Andy Satowski, Kevin Pinto in, Jason Harper, Ted Payton not in. We'll give him a little more time in the new year. First of all, guys, let's start here. How was everybody's holiday and New Year celebrations? I know some people maybe a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, so I had a bummer of a holiday. We'll just start with the negative right here. No, we had family come visit us from Michigan, and they were sick. They arrived on whatever night they arrived, and I heard it, and I said in my brain, uh-oh.
I'm in
Little
danger.
did I know. I'm in danger, yeah. So my 16-month-old got influenza A. So that means that I got influenza A. I don't know. I didn't get tested for it, but I'm assuming. So Christmas was not how we anticipated. She was pretty sick. So a little bit of a bummer there. We were really looking forward to having her first Christmas. She was like 3 months old, so she was a potato, like didn't really understand. Now that she was older, we were looking forward to having her open up her presents and all that stuff. So we didn't get to do that, but everyone's on the mend. Sorry if I cough during our little segment here.
There it is.
There it is.
It's lingering. This has been going on everywhere. Everyone's getting it. Had a coughing attack last week before New Year's. So husband and I, for New Year's, we watched. We went to dinner. We made it through dinner, and then we watched the finale of Stranger Things, and went to bed at like 10:30.
Okay.
Because felt like absolute trash. So really looking forward to being healthy in 2026. How were y'all's holidays, since we just kind of got that out of the way?
Mr. Pinto, I haven't even got a chance to talk to you, Kevin. Yeah.
I know. Well,
How was yours?
The Blue Room shuts down for like 2 weeks.
Sure
It's
does.
great. Big fan of that.
Right.
But here we are back to work. Man, what did we do? So, I mean, I can work kind of backwards because all I can think about is New Year's and how we went to Miami to go watch the Winter Classic.
Fun.
The outdoor hockey game was super fun. It's some people were like, how are you going to play hockey out in Miami? But they did. Marlins Stadium, right? They had the roof and they opened it up last minute. It was super cool. My team won. My Spirit was canceled because Spirit canceled my flight. So they canceled my flight. This is a shout out to Spirit. Don't sponsor us. They call somebody else. They canceled my flight like last minute, and then we had to scramble. And and then our Airbnb was terrible. Airbnb is great though. You can sponsor us if you'd like. Just this
Did they
particular
catfish
one.
you on the airplane?
They did. Yeah. We got there. It looked fine, but it smelled like mold.
Ew.
Oh,
And
no.
it smelled like smoke. We took pictures, and they only gave us 2 towels. The 2 towels were hanging above a mop bucket in the closet.
Did Lila come with you?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah,
God,
this is our first time away, by the way.
Oh.
Which is a whole nother thing.
So
I was
bummer.
fine. Yeah, but Jenna was very upset. And then I just booked another hotel with some points, so I didn't waste any money.
Did you get a refund from
I got a
Airbnb?
second day back refund and then 30% back from the first night. So I was like,
Oh, you guys spent the first night there.
because by the time we got from the game, it was 12:30 at night.
So it's like where
Oh.
you just kind of like soldier through it. At that
Exactly. And I was struggling breathing. It was tough, actually.
Wow.
So yeah, finding a last one was going to be like 400 or 500 just for like another, essentially 7 hours?
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it wasn't worth it. So we sucked it
Yikes.
up and yeah. But anyways, that was fun. And then I had a bunch of family over, grandparents rotating in and out throughout December.
For the
Built a deck
holidays.
too. Redid our deck in the backyard
Wow.
within
I mean,
3 days.
We had
So-
like an 80-degree day on Christmas, so
yeah, it was
perfect,
super weird.
perfect outdoor construction weather.
Yeah, and I shot both Panther games too. During that time frame because we had the 2 games that were here.
Busy.
Yeah, and we'll get into that later.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah, we
if
will.
you want, we can get into it right now.
No,
if you-
no. You had holiday stuff too.
Oh, okay. I
Spoilers.
guess I did have
A little
holiday.
teaser for
Holiday. So
whoops.
it's
I did this out of order.
okay.
I think I ruined it.
It's all right.
Okay,
we
cool.
dive right into it. We can go out of order if we want
We
to.
do what we want here.
Yeah, we can.
You
why
asked me
not?
how
Why
my
not?
holidays
So,
were.
holiday.
It's true.
So holidays were pretty interesting for me. I got to go on a cruise with my wife, and we did Grand Cayman, Cozumel, and Nassau. My wife did also get sick. She got
Man.
I know, every holiday sickness.
Yeah.
She actually got a GI bug on Celebrity. They had a huge wave of people who got sick on the cruise before us. A lot of people on our cruise got sick, so she actually missed her day in Cozumel, which I got to go on. She said, I'm feeling better in the morning. Go ahead and go out there. So I did a whole entire day on the island by myself, which was interesting. That's a story to be told
Is that when you
for
got the
another
hat?
time. That is not when I got the hat,
Okay.
Annie. I got the hat at another
Oh,
time.
that's
It's like
right.
the second day.
Okay.
That was actually when I was wearing it out was the day that night she got sick.
Oh, no.
Literally hours after. So
It
was
was
it
the
tied to the
hat's
hat? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of things to get
You should have
into.
sacrificed the hat to make her feel better.
I think the hat actually made her feel good.
Okay.
Here's actually something though that made me feel amazing. I was not a believer in this. So on the cruise, I got to do. I don't know if you guys are familiar with cupping and acupuncture. So I did e-stim acupuncture and cupping. Shout out to my girl, Dr. Jin. So I was really nervous. This is a cupping right here. They're not allowed to do flame or like fire. So they do it's air suction. And that's what it looked like afterwards. It looks like I took a beating.
Dang.
Yeah.
But honestly, one of the best feelings that I've ever had. I've had like deep tissue massages. This relieved probably, it felt like 15 years of pressure and like stress in my muscles. My shoulders were lower. I felt like my wife said like it was visible. My face looks like it lost fat, bloating.
What?
In my stomach lost. I think I went down. It felt like a size because like my stomach lost bloating. My face looked thinner. It was really good. And then like also I felt euphoric afterwards for like the next 4 or 5 hours. I was giggling and felt really light. It pulled out all the stress and everything.
Bad juju.
I didn't believe in it.
For the
Totally
so
did.
the acupuncture did that in terms of like
Acupuncture
the
cupping.
mental. Well, no, I know, but I feel like cupping is. Do you think the cupping made you feel lighter and euphoric, or was it more of the acupuncture releasing the bad
I think both.
negative energy?
I think both. The acupuncture was really cool. Like I thought it would hurt, and there were some like when the needle went in, like I jumped. I thought like, oh my god, she's gonna stab me. I'm gonna bleed all over this table. No, Dr. Jim was amazing, but
But it's like little pinches, right?
It's like a little like you don't even really feel it.
Yeah.
Only
Like-
some you
like a
feel.
pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, just like kind of boop, real quick, and it's almost like a quick mosquito bite, if anything. Like so, you barely feel it, and then the e-stim is like they can crank it up however high they want it to go. And if anybody's ever had like tens, like it's like that, and so your muscle is actually like boom, 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 boom. And it was it felt weird at first, and they kind of just leave you in the room, your face down like this.
And then you say,
It's like, okay, bye, we'll be back in 25 minutes.
Wow.
And it was great.
And you got them at the same time.
I did. So I did. The acupuncture is like, hey, are you good to go straight into cupping? I'm like, yep, good to go. So she took the first cup and like kind of like rolled it around the back, then boop into an area, and another one, and then she put the other cups in there. And no, that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, because I've seen the cupping before, right? Athletes do it all the time
Yeah.
and stuff, and it looks gross. And then like you see your skin like sucked up into this cup, and it looks nasty. But I've always wondered like how legit it is. I guess
It
I mean
is.
if athletes are doing it, right, it's got to be real.
I did it one time when I was in college. I had I've always had back problems throughout my gymnastics career, but then my senior year in college, landed, it was a really good, I'm not even going to like go into the terminology, but I landed a skill very, very well. And I was like really happy with it. But then just something happened. It got tweaked. I think I like pulled some muscles with my ribs and my back. It was just really, really painful. So I went to my family's home up in Toronto, Canada. Apparently my uncle like works with a physical therapist who also works with the Raptors. Like got me an appointment, and they're like, just for a massage. I just wanted them to like kind of work it out. But they did cupping, and it helped, I think, speed up my recovery a lot. Like it still hurt. It's not a cure for anything, but it was just different than any treatment that I'd had before. And I think it sped up my recovery a lot. So I would love to get cupping again. I think that would be awesome.
I've already looked up some areas in the Charlotte area. They have cupping and acupuncture, so I'm going to be looking into that. Because have you ever done?
No, I have not.
You've heard
done it.
about
I've
it.
done massages and stuff, whatever, but I've never done actual.
So have you ever felt like with the massage, the relief lasts for maybe like a day or two?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also carrying cameras usually, right?
Yeah.
So I did it a lot
So
more during
short-lived.
football season. Yeah, so
Right.
I feel like I'm going right back to work, and it just doesn't last as long.
So
as I wanted
that's
to.
what they said the difference is with the acupuncture, with the e-stim. And now it felt like a whole entire like sales pitch to me, like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna take my money. And everything sounds good, like, oh, it'll relieve the bloating and all that stuff. And if you don't get relief for more than a few days from a deep tissue massage, this will do that for you. And I'm like, okay, baloney. Nope. I mean, still,
You're a believer.
I'm a believer now. So
All right, we're going to go on a group cupping session.
Group cup sesh?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would
I'll
do
record it. We'll put it back on the show.
There you
Excellent.
go. Yeah,
guys
if there's somebody out there that does acupuncture and cupping at a reputable place,
Yes.
right? Hit us up. We'd love to
Please
hear
do.
about cupping and acupuncture. That wasn't the only thing that happened on the cruise, but I will save that for a little later on.
Okay.
Also got to watch the Panthers on the cruise, and we'll talk about that and where they are coming up after the break. You're watching Morning Edition. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to this episode, our first episode in 2026 of Morning Edition. Few crew members light today, but we have Kevin Pinto with us, and he's our favorite, and we love it.
Pinto Bean.
Pinto Bean, woohoo! So we're also saying woohoo because, guys, for the first time
Come on.
in 8 years,
Talk to me.
right?
Yeah.
The Carolina
Feels like longer.
Panthers. No, it's 8 years that the Carolina
It feels
Panthers
like
have made it into the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
And the first time in 10 years that they have been NFC South Division champions. Let's go. We need to go back and look at the first episode once we had our schedule and it was right before the season started. And we were kind of all talking about our predictions for the season. And I can't remember. I think I said, how many games are there in the season? 18? 16?
17.
I said like 7-10 was my prediction.
Okay.
7-11, something like that. So they did better than that. And we're going to the playoffs.
They
Like,
did slightly
this is
better
wild,
than that.
guys.
Slightly.
They're still
by one
a
game.
below 500 team that made the playoffs.
Exactly. It's our division, guys. But we made it.
Look,
and that's all that matters.
The excitement is here. Obviously, the city is buzzing. This is kind of the record that I thought they would have.
Okay.
I didn't think they'd be in the postseason, though. I did not imagine the NFC South imploding the way it did. I thought Tampa would be better. They were not. I thought that Atlanta would be better. They were not.
Also not.
They also imploded. Also fired their head coach on Monday.
But they went on the tear at the end there.
They did. They get on here with Kirk O'Chains, man.
It's a little late.
I feel like this is the most Panthers way to make the postseason possible.
We've said it.
Right?
Like, I think we all said, all right, we played out the situations, right? We had with our
It was 3 games left, right? We needed to win 2 games to
all
win.
the situations, and they're going to make it in the most like obtuse way possible.
Beat Tampa the first time, they get trounced by Seattle, lose in Tampa Bay with some questionable play calling, questionable officiating, but then we get saved by Kirk O'Chains and the Atlanta Falcons beating the New Orleans Saints. We win the division, we're in the playoffs, and our reward is playing Los Angeles again at home.
Who we already beat, though. We beat them earlier in the season.
In overtime.
Yeah. And
How you
what's
feeling,
funny,
Kevin?
What's funny is we had to go through Sam Darnold, right, and Baker Mayfield. We had both those quarterbacks at one point. So it's just kind of a full circle moment, I feel like, for the Panthers, the way they did it. And honestly, not even beating them, which is also interesting. Not like in the games, right? Because they only beat Tampa once. And so that was the second time. So, yeah, that game was rough. And they had to play in the rain, too, which looked terrible. I'm glad I didn't have to shoot that game.
Yeah.
Gosh, I know.
Because I shot the 2 previous games before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I do shoot a lot of the Panther games. And I will probably be shooting the playoff game this Saturday, which I also hear is going to be full of rain. So,
are you excited, though?
Can't wait for
How do
that.
you feel about that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know what it is there's other people that are bigger fans, right? I grew up in the North, so I'm a Giants fan.
Right.
So covering your own team is a little different, too. Because I don't want to shoot the games for my own team.
Right.
I want to enjoy it, right? So
It's
I'm
hard
not
to be neutral as well.
Yeah, so I don't, which for sure. Well, when you're shooting, right, you're not like cheering. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I have cheered before while shooting because I used to cover App State games.
Naughty.
Too.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're not supposed to do that.
Naughty.
But,
No,
yeah, but no, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a very long day because we have so much coverage from the morning until the night, and I don't know. So hopefully they win, they pull it out, and we continue to travel and cover them.
Shameless plug, you can watch the game on Queen City News
That's
if you are
right.
looking for it. We're also going to have a special edition of BBKL on our streaming app, which you're probably watching us on now, or unless you're watching on YouTube. So some different ways to watch. We're going all out for the Panthers in the postseason. Realistically, guys, I mean, do we have a shot here? I feel like in a weird way.
So I went to
Right?
I was at the first game, I was at the LA game right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was a great game. It was so much fun. But I went into it, my husband and I were driving in. I'm like, there's no way we're winning this game. He goes, absolutely not. The stats were not in our favor. Granted, that was also a drizzly game.
Yeah.
It might have played a factor It wasn't as bad as it was
drizzly
in Tampa,
again.
but so it could. Do I think that Matthew Stafford plays as poorly as he did in that game? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I also said this about the Panthers, right? Like that, or who they play? Tampa? I can't remember where I was going with this, but
what, like past weekend?
I
Or?
just can't see them playing as poorly again. Or it was against the Saints, right? So we had our first loss against the Saints, and then we had them again. And I said, we don't make the same mistake twice, right? Like, the Saints suck. We're going to win this game. We did the most Panthers thing possible. So I'm never saying never. I don't think it's very likely. Obviously, like Vegas and everyone has Panthers as the underdog. But what would it be like to have that at home and to win that wild card game?
Electric.
It would be so cool. We haven't felt this good about Charlotte sports in a long time.
It is. It's refreshing, right? It's refreshing to have that. I mean, if their defense can keep up, because their defense has been carrying this team,
right?
Yeah.
Offense needs to step it up, and if the offense can actually play well, then they might have a chance. The defense just has to continue what they're doing.
Right. I mean, look, we are a play call, a few ref calls, a Rico Dowdle holding on to the ball instead of trying to pitch it back to Bryce Young on that field.
Yeah.
Flea flicker from talking about the Panthers stealing it up on Saturday instead of having to rely on the Saints on Sunday. They're not a bad team. They're not a great team, but they're always capable of surprising everybody. I think that's the Panthers. It's just like you never really know what Panthers team is going to show up on Saturday. We'll find out. Hopefully they win. Hopefully we can keep it going, because that would just be electric for everybody.
It's better for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, they play to their teams. That's the thing they've been doing all year.
They do.
So whether they suck or whether it's a great team, they've been playing to that level usually.
So
they've had some
rise
blowouts.
to the occasion is what you're saying against the Rams.
Yeah.
Who's a very good team.
I wonder if the secret though is it having you, Craig, and Maddie in the stadium?
I think it will.
You guys have to go to this game now?
I feel like we should.
I feel like you have to go.
Are you going?
I don't have tickets
Yes.
currently.
It's not too late.
It's not too late. No,
Until the last minute.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we had our meteorologist Brandon Lawson joke, who is a huge Panthers fan. He knew that we were going, and he sent me a message right after that game and said, "You need to go to every single home game." It was our first one of the year, and only my second Panthers game ever. So, and we won.
I think he said he's going too.
He is going.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's going. I know
a bunch of people.
Robbie Greenwald, one of the morning producer, is going to.
Massive fans.
I get it. Like if this was home, if I was like in Washington, I'm a big Washington Commanders fan. I would 100% be trying to go to the game. I went to as many Washington National playoff games as I could. Playoffs are just different. The electricity inside the stadium, whether you win or lose, is great. If you win, you're talking about losing your voice. It's just amazing. Your muscles hurt from jumping so much. So, hey, this Saturday, something pretty exciting happening.
Yeah, that's right. And the fans have showed up the last 3 games, by the way.
Yeah.
It's been loud down there.
Okay.
I felt it down there.
And for that LA game, you could hear the crowd. Like, I think that they played a huge role, which is something that the Panthers haven't had in the past. Why?
Right.
You don't want fair weather fans, but it's been hard to cheer. It's been hard to get excited. So this is really cool, and hopefully the stadium can play a role. I keep hitting my face on this. Can play a role in a win on Saturday. So we shall see.
Win or lose, guys, I have a question for both of you. Do you think that we've turned the corner? For so long, we tried to change the culture. Not we, but the Panthers have tried to change the culture, right? Do you think they finally turned a page? Win or lose this weekend? Is the culture now different here? Looking at how electric the bank has been, is it vibe, or we still kind of, does it hinge on what happens this weekend?
I think making the playoffs is their first step, but they still have a lot of work to do. They just need a lot of offensive help. There's a lot of things to work on. I think they've kind of just squeaked by, again, on their defense. Without good defense, I don't think this team would have been nearly as good.
I think that it's starting to get people excited about the team, at least, right? So I don't think that everyone's like, we are so back forever. But it does a lot to how the team has done. It gives people a lot of hope. So I think, unfortunately, it's a little bit of but we have
wait and see, right?
Kind of a little bit of a wait and see. But I think that in this case, we should live in the moment. Fans should live in the moment, be happy with what we did. And then it just counts on what we can build on.
But if we win,
we're
all the way back.
We're all the way back. We're so back.
It is refreshing, though,
Right.
because, again, I've shot the last 2 or 3 years, and to see the fans not show up sometimes, and, the history of, like, $9 tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
This is refreshing.
That's over,
yeah.
baby.
Tickets still available. I think around $200 as of last check. So we shall see. Again, you can watch that game here on Queen City News. So tune in for that. Also, stick around because coming up after the break on a Morning Edition, I teased it earlier, saw something else on the cruise that you don't see every day. Hope that keeps you interested. We'll be right back with more Morning Edition right after this. Welcome back into Morning Edition, the first episode for 2026. So I kind of talked about this at the beginning of the episode, and we had a really interesting experience on our cruise ship. And first kind of noticed it, some crew members were off on one side of the boat, and they started roping off areas, and then a lot of people started amassing on the top deck, looking out, and what we saw, I guess it's not an uncommon experience, but the first time I've experienced on a cruise ship, we saw a vessel that needed help, and it's maritime law. You have to go render aid if somebody flags you down. So a cruise ship turns around, and you're seeing this orange boat there. This came from our cruise ship. This is a vessel that was out there. They're rowing to us. They were off the coast of Cuba, and they had run out of food. They had been out there for a few weeks. They did have water.
Weeks?
Yeah. So that is what was. They've been out there since I think like December 7th or 8th or 9th. Something like that. And so by the time this happened, this was right before New Year. So they've been out there for a while. And so, again, it's maritime law. If they flag you down, you have to go out and get them. So obviously, everyone on the cruise ship is talking about this. What happens is our next port was actually Grand Cayman. This is them actually rowing to the boat. And you take them on. You have to give them medical aid. And then you have to turn them over to authorities when you get at the next port.
Okay.
And so you turn them over to the Cuban consulate, and then they get repatriated back to Cuba. They're not allowed to get asylum on the cruise ship. And we were even talking to people in the Grand Cayman, and they said if the vessel shows up in the Grand Cayman, they're not even allowed to come on shore. And people in the Grand Cayman, in Grand Cayman, can't go out there and give them food. If they give them food, they could actually face a fine. But it's something that happens all the time that you wouldn't even think about. And, but it makes sense. People defecting from Cuba, if they don't make it and they need help.
Wow.
That's what happens. There's no chance to get asylum. They go back to Cuba. But, I mean, not something you would think about, right?
No, I would never in 1,000 years. I mean, it makes sense that it happens, but I would never think about that. I've also never been on a cruise before. So that would, so that'd be fair. But I mean, but it's interesting. And where did they stay? Obviously, use your investigative journalism.
Well, where did they stay on the cruise ship?
Yeah, I guess where did they stay on the cruise ship?
So there is an underneath area.
Yeah,
there's a brig, there's a jail, there's there's a hospital, a little baby infirmary, kind of like your nurse's office. You think on like steroids.
Yeah.
But there are places to hold them underneath, and I was actually talking to one of the crew members, and she said that a few years back they were going to Puerto Rico. Same instance, they got about 13 people trying to escape Cuba.
Wow. And
they had to take them in. They handed them over in Puerto Rico. They got repatriated back to Cuba. But it's a real thing, and not everybody makes it. Sometimes, when you're trying to go from Cuba. But we talk about the situations going on in places like Cuba, like Venezuela, right? Mm-hmm. These are countries where people are going to do anything to escape. And you just look at the desperation, the willpower, right? I mean, so these people that we saw were teenagers, and they've been out there for weeks in a boat with a sail. Their sail broke. That's why they flagged us down. But it just makes you kind of take for a second. It's like, here you are on this cruise enjoying like a really nice vacation, and there are people who are literally fighting for their lives. It just put a lot into perspective, like, wow, okay, how grateful we are to have the freedoms that we do, and then what other people are kind of going through.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then we're at a point where if you do make it to, Florida or whatever, you're probably still going to be sent back regardless. So,
right.
Yeah, it's a weird time, right? I guess, but... I can't imagine. I've been on cruise ships before. I haven't run into that before. Mm-hmm. Also, I guess if you were to be, saved or, arrested by anything, a cruise ship's not the worst.
No, I mean, if you're going to get picked up by another vessel out there at sea, I would argue that a cruise ship is probably the better of them. But when you think about it, I asked you, how long does it take to stop a cruise ship, right? Like those things are massive. And so, I mean, to how far out you would have to see the boat in distress.
Right.
One, it's a miracle that they were seen at all because that was a teeny tiny boat.
Right.
But there's people whose literal job it is to drive the boat and to be looking out for any obstacles that are in the ocean.
Mhm.
And it's just wild to think about, okay, you can't stop that thing on a dime is what I'm trying to say. So it just logistically, it's pretty incredible to carry out that operation, but they're all trained for it. So.
They are. And you know what you can't stop on a dime? A podcast, because we're out of time. Not a podcast, but Morning Edition. We'll be back with another one very soon. See you later, guys.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.